Hey y'all, hold on. I'm doing a little mukbang because we're trying the new vanilla cream freeze at Taco Bell. It is so sweet, but it's good. It tastes like ice cream. Okay, I got a Supreme Doritos, Locos Tacos, no meat, add beans. I got a cheesy bean and rice burrito, add fiesta strips grilled. And I got a black bean Crunchwrap Supreme, swap the beans for refried beans. Add fiesta strips, no tomato, add pico, and add rice. Let's do the cheesy bean and rice burrito first. Let's talk about the black phone too. And maybe weapons. So, I went to go see it right. First of all, I went to go see it on a date. That was good. Worst date ever. Oh my god. Let me tell you a little bit about that first, actually. So, I talked with this guy for like 2 weeks before we met up, right? At least. Called and everything. I mean, at most, he seemed a little odd. Whatever. I didn't really care. I made plans, but then I got this gut feeling right before the plans that I shouldn't go, but I went anyway. Because I was like, it's too late to cancel. We go shopping. Like, whatever, it was fine. And then I'm like, can we hit up the Peddler's Mall? Because if y'all know me, y'all know I love a Peddler's Mall. And he was like, sure. And so we go to the Peddler's Mall. First of all, they did not have heat at this Peddler's Mall. Second of all, he didn't seem that into it. It's not everybody's cup of tea, I get it. So, we're walking around. All I got was 2 DVDs and a candle, by the way. But we're walking around, and we happen upon the taxidermy and specimen case, okay? And there's this little animal in a jar, okay? We're both looking at this animal, and he's like, oh, it's cool looking. I don't know what it is, though. I was like, me either. The worker comes over and it's like, it's a kitten. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool. You don't see that often. But this guy I was on a date with instantly got weird, okay? And I was like, what? So, this kitten was very well done. Very well preserved. It looked great. I was genuinely interested in it, okay? So I asked the lady how much it is, and she goes, it's $100. And I was like, honestly, seems about right. It was really well done. And so I'm like, well, I really want it. And so I'm sitting here debating whether I'm gonna buy it or not. And this guy's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I was just like, whatever. In my own little world, I guess. I was like, I'm not gonna get it, it's $100. That's kind of crazy. But I do really like it. And so, I'm checking out the stuff I did get. And this clerk, who literally looks like she just did a round of meth, said, you have to be sick in the head to like something like that. And I said, I literally was just going, So, don't ever go to the Frankfurt Peddlers Mall because they are rude to the customers there. Rude, I tell you. So I was like, whatever. Fucking bitch. So we get to the car, and when I tell you, this man is like shaking. And I was like, what? And he was freaked out. And I was like, over the kitten? In the jar? Now, mind you, I know you're probably thinking, Cortland, that is kind of weird for a first date. I would be scared too. I can understand that. Except this man told me he loved scary things, horror movies. Told me I couldn't out-freak him. Like, I thought that he would not bat an eye, okay? And he has said it was cool first, okay? Keep that in mind. So, I'm confused. And he's like, I'm just trying to understand why you would even like that. And so I'm explaining it to him. I'm like, but think about it, dude, because it's not like I'm putting them in jars. I could definitely see if I told you that I like putting stuff in jars, but like, I'm not. Somebody put it in the jar. It's not the cat's fault that somebody put it in the jar. Why would I not take it home and treat it well? And he was like, low-key, you're right, that's crazy. And he calmed down. So, we were supposed to get sushi. But the sushi place he took me to literally looked so jank that I was like, oh, I'm not really feeling sushi anymore just because I didn't want to eat there. And he was like, oh, me either. Like, I'm glad we can agree on that. I mean, I can't eat after this. And I was like, sure. So he's like, let's go to Dairy Queen. And I was like, I mean, honestly, gonna be honest with you, I don't eat meat. So, like, there's, like, not a lot I can eat at Dairy Queen. But, like, I'll go if you really want to go. And he was like, well, I want us both to enjoy it. And I was like, I mean, like, we can go. Like, I don't even give a fuck. Like, I just want this to be over already. So he takes me to Dairy Queen. He buys me one cheese curd. Whatever. And that was, well, first of all, the ordering at Dairy Queen was a nightmare. Oh my God. I'm not even gonna get into it. He didn't know that the chicken box came with fries and gravy, and so he like freaked out about it having fries and gravy. Like, what? And the poor worker was so confused, and they messed up his drink. And when the worker remade it and like went back in to remake it, he turned to me and said, oh my God, what is wrong with them? Are they okay? And I was like, dude, you just laughed in their face after they didn't make your drink right. Like, are you okay? Anyway, it was rude. I mean, it was just rude. I was like, wow. So, after that, we go. He's like, the movie starts at 7, so we need to go. And I was like, okay. And like, before we met up, we had texted and he said, I'll cover dinner if you cover the movie. So I was like, okay. Personally, I think he should have went ahead and covered the movie because all I ate for dinner was a cheese curd. But it's fine. On the way there, I'm eating my cheese curds. I'm like, do you want your food? And he was like, no, I'm going to bring it into the theater. I was like, whatever. I mean, let's chill. And so, we go to the theater. The movie's at 7:30, and I pay for his ticket. $18 per ticket. Okay, do the math. So, we're sitting in this movie 40 minutes early, literally. I spent like 20 of them in the bathroom. And then the movie starts. This is where the spoilers come in. The movie was meh. Okay? Like, I loved the first Black Phone because it had like, it had such a realism to it, you know what I mean? Like, it had the ghost fantasy element with the phone and the kids, but like the grabber was a real killer. So it makes it more scary to me. The second one, first of all, why are they in the snow? Second of all, how does his sister has powers in her dream? Like what? They're telling me she can move stuff in her mind in the dream, and it happens in real life too. Also, like, just the grabber himself just being in the dreams. But I mean, he was in real life, but they could only see him in the dreams. I'm like, what? Also, the kids didn't help at all in this movie. The whole point of the first movie was the kids guiding Finn on what to do and how to survive. You know? This one was all the sister, which, by the way, her character was so annoying. Oh my god. And then Finn being able to kill the grabber at the end, he couldn't even see him. I don't understand. But I digress. I didn't really care for it. After the movie, spoilers over. After the movie, I tell him what I thought about it, you know. Same thing I'm telling you right now. And he's like, I thought it was really good. Also, during the movie, like, there were some funny parts that I laughed at even, that you were supposed to laugh at, you know what I mean? He laughed when it was silent and supposed to be scary. Also, he did bring his DQ, his chicken box, into the theater. He didn't eat one bite of it. I don't even know. He's driving me back to my car. Keep in mind, I would have left if I had my car. You're probably like, why is this still even going on? I didn't have my car. And I asked him at the sushi place, before GQ, okay? I asked him, do you just want to take me back to my car because you look scared right now? And he said no. So I was like, whatever. He takes me back to my car. And he daps me up and I was like, thanks for hanging out with me. And he was like, by the way, the whole date, by the way, he was saying weird comments about like getting a handful. And then he did try to touch my butt in the peddler's mall. So, you know, there's that. And so he said, oh, are you trying to do something more? And I said, no, I'm gonna drive home now. And I got in my car. And I sat there. And I sent a video to my friends and I was like, bruh. And you know, whatever. And then I drove home. And then I look on my phone. And as soon as he had pulled out of the parking lot, he had texted me, so no head, question mark. And I said, no. And then he said, not gonna lie, I cried getting home. And I said, Now, he's a funny guy. He's a jokester, right? So, what? Are you joking? If I was just trying to make a joke and it wasn't very funny, you know? As men do. And he was like, no, I'm dead serious. You're really scary. Keep that shit over there. And I was like, is this, like, are you serious? Like, why would you say this to me? He was like, yeah, I thought that was my end. Like, I called my dad and everything. And I was like, what? What do you mean? What? So, okay. If you think I'm that scary that you cried, then you don't have to see me ever again. If you just want to say that, like, you can just say that I won't be butthurt. And he said, no, that's not what I'm saying. You're telling me you're so scared of me that you supposedly cried and you're still wanting to talk to me? Make that make sense. Okay. So I was like, this guy is fucking off his rocker. Okay. So I ignore him. He sends me 14 messages in a row. Actually, no. I didn't ignore him right after that. I said, I just think it's really immature that you're doing this all over a cat. And he was like, immature because I don't like a cat in a jar? And I said, no, immature because you're telling me you cried after our date and being weird. And then I got mad and I said, are you a pussy? And that's when he sent me 14 messages in a row. And was like, I'm not a pussy, I'm a person with feelings and emotions. And he was like, you're crazy, and like, it is really disgusting, and like, I was just lying, I didn't even think it was cool in the first place. And I was like, yo, this guy's crazy. So I ignored it. He texted me the next morning and he was like, I don't even remember what he said, I'm gonna be honest. And I basically just texted him and I said, listen, we're done here. Oh no, I know what it was. I somehow had friended him on Facebook and Instagram, so I unfriended him on both of those, and I guess somehow he noticed, and he texted me, how'd you find my Facebook? And I said, I unfriended you, we're done here. And he said, was there ever a we? And I was like, that is not what I meant by that, and you know that. And so then he spammed me again and was like, can you send me a picture of me holding this monkey? Because I took a picture. Actually, I didn't even take the picture. Carly FaceTimed me during the date in the Peddler's Mall, and he held up a monkey stuffed animal, and Carly took a FaceTime photo. So I don't even have the picture. So I ignored him, and he was like, damn, he said, look at Betty Crocker over here. I just wanted the picture. And then he posted on his Instagram story a picture of the cat in the jar and said, worst day ever. Some of these hoes need to be locked up. It's not cute. And then he also posted like I'm not a chef, but Boyardee's bitches something. I don't even know. Crazy or trying something. And I was like, he also kept making racist jokes during the day. Like to the point where I was like, oh, why the fuck would you say that? So, yeah, that's my bad date story time. Didn't really care for the black phone, even if it wasn't in that circumstance. Weapons, however, I did like Weapons. I watched Weapons. Spoilers upcoming, maybe. I did like it. I took it as a metaphor for, like, school shootings, you know? And, like, at the end when she gets ripped apart, it's, like, school shooter guilt ripping them apart or something like that along those lines. You know what I'm saying? But I really liked the character design of Gladys. And I liked the vibes. It was unique. So, yeah. That's my story time. That's all I got. Honestly. So, love you guys. Bye.